Hello grognards, it's Al here. Got a video for you today about painting. GW would have you believe there's really only one way to paint, which is their way, the heavy metal way. And while they'll give you some tutorials on YouTube for free, normally for something that they're selling at that time, if you want their masterclass stuff, then you need to sign up to Warhammer Plus. As I firmly have said before, I do not believe that Warhammer Plus is worth it. I believe that Warhammer Plus is something that is only really subscribed to for the app, the army building stuff. There might be a few people in for the animations, but they're so few and far between, I just don't think they are. And without wanting to slight the people who are doing the tutorials are fine, but you can get better for free. It's that simple. It's that simple. You know, like most of the stuff on Warhammer Plus, you can get better than that for free on YouTube. Better lore videos, better battle reports, better painting stuff. Better hobby content that you do not have to sign up to on a monthly basis. Obviously, if you wish to, go nuts. I just wish to present you with some alternatives. So I've got 5 channels here that I like. I think they're great. You're going to get something from these channels, basically. You might already know of them. You might know other channels that I don't know about. And feel free to shout about those down below in the comments. But these ones in particular appeal to this old grognard. So, without further ado, let's have a look. The first one is Grimdark Compendium. The great thing about Grimdark Compendium is this dude literally doesn't even know what a line highlight is. He just doesn't use them. He's just like, nah. This is all about the Grimdark style, and the Grimdark style is all about weathering effects, ink washes, blends. You know, this is as far away from the heavy metal style as you can get. And I love it. Just short of 100,000 subscribers, which does mean that he's attracted sponsors. So you'll frequently get sponsors on his videos. One of the great things about Grimdark Compendium is that he always puts a paint list at the start of his video. And it ain't just Citadel, and it's not even just acrylic. He'll put oils in there. The last video I watched, he had like AK metallic waxes. Anything. If it makes a model look good, he'll chuck it on there. Also does a lot of conversion work. So yeah, if you want to get that kind of Horus Heresy, battle worn, not pristine, non-heavy metal look, I don't think you can do much better than Grimdark Compendium. He's got all sorts on here, from weathering of walls to painting flesh to painting armour. You know, it's all here. Been going for like a good sort of 5-6 years. Streak and grime. Love Streak and grime. Love the finish it gives. Love working with it. Wish that AK could keep the fucking formula consistent so that every pot hasn't got different bloody colours. But yeah, great stuff. Loads of tutorials here. Loads of content to consume. And then obviously if you want to, you can sign up for the additional material here as well. Good stuff. What I'm going to do is I've chosen a video for each of these guys, and we're just going to watch a little bit of that video just so you can get an idea of what their delivery is like, what the camera work is like. I don't want to be ripping off these guys by just reposting their content. This is purely just to show alternatives out there to what heavy metal do. So we're just going to have a quick watch of this video here. Here we go. This is a Trench Crusade one, so hopefully you'll get a bit of his delivery off of this. Let's just bump the volume up a little bit.
Bodies. Now finally, if you've got any areas that you do need to clean up additionally, I like to do this, I call it more of a dissolve technique. So I get some mineral spirits onto my brush, a little bit more than what we'd previously added, and I just tap the area. And what that'll do is, because of the capillary reaction, it will just push away that goon's grime. And if you do these close to each other, it almost creates like a scarred, mottled effect.
There we go. I think that's enough. So you can see the kind of thing that he does here. This is great. I mean, I love this kind of oil painted kind of non-heavy metal look. This is it for me. This is just, and you can use a combination of the two to make some truly amazing stuff. But I prefer this naturalistic, grimdark look, and learnt a lot off this channel. Really recommend it. So yeah, Grimdark Compendium. Right, the next one that we're going to look at is Swarm Painting. So I only found this one quite recently. This is a pretty damn good channel as well. 20k subscribers at the moment, but only 25 videos. It's not been going that long. Some really good stuff here. Does tend to focus on the GW side of things, model-wise, but uses a variety of different techniques. This is good stuff. It looks like he started about 7 months ago, so he's doing really well. And yeah, you've got a variety of different stuff here, just different bits and pieces. Obviously, he's yet to build up a massive portfolio of stuff, but again, I was quite impressed by what I saw. Definitely one to keep an eye on for the future. Let's have a quick look at a little bit of this content. So I watched this video earlier. Let's skip it forward a little bit. Where was it? It's about here, I think he starts getting into it. This is a kind of wet blending technique with a dry brush that comes out quite well. He's very concise with his instructions and delivery. So let's have a quick look at it.
The colours I'll be layering on top. The mahogany base coat already has enough moisture to help thin and blend these extra layers as I go. I'm hitting the sides of the fur here, pushing the paint up into where I want to build out the lighter areas while keeping the top dark. I'm letting it roughly blend in with the wet mahogany underneath. As I go, the brush keeps picking up more of that base colour, so the more I paint, the darker it gets. To brighten it back up, I just wipe off the excess paint on my towel, reload with fresh light brown, and keep going.
Okay, so I think that gives us enough of an idea to see what swarm painting does. As I said, very easy to sort of break down, not using any advanced techniques. That's one thing I do need to say about Grimdark Compendium. They are on a more advanced scale of things. It's like picking up the Forge World Masterclass book. Although some of the stuff that he does is pretty easy, it's definitely towards the more advanced side of it. It's more grognardish, I would say. It is aimed at that level rather than necessarily the more big beginner 40k level. That's one thing I will say about Grimdark Compendium. That's not the case with swarm painting. Breaks everything down, makes it really easy. I really enjoyed this video. Get sort of shows towards the end result that he ended up with was quite nice, with a very, very little sort of work overall. Where was it? Where's his end results? Here we go. So you can see here. Come out lovely. And, you know, without needing to resort to a load of techniques, you know, really good result, minimal effort, and not just, you know, heavy metal, repeating what heavy metal do. So, yeah, another good channel there, I think. The next one up is Matt's Hobby Hour. This is another one that I've only found recently. He's got 112 videos, over 30,000 subs. Again, I really liked the work that he did. He does a lot of contrast stuff. Again, hacks, ideas to, you know, get it done real quick, but still end up with something that is respectable and good. He's got some, you know, short-term content as well. And yeah, in my opinion, is both his normal stuff and his short-term content is well worth checking out. I really like it. So let's have a quick look at a couple of his videos. And I say a couple because I had a couple toned up. One is his version of the wolves that Swarm Painting just did. So let's have a quick look. He's using contrast here. Puts all the mixes down here. Does tend to focus on Citadel paints, I've noticed.
You could add more or less medium if you want to vary the colors slightly, especially if you're painting a lot of wolves and you want to vary the colors throughout the unit.
Chilled jazz background music.
Next I contrast medium and 1 part Cygor brown, kind of like a very strong Agrax earth shade. I decided to paint the shade about halfway down the back, and then I blended out the edge with a clean brush.
Chill delivery, kind of Bob Ross-like. I'll be honest, I'd normally put these on 1.5 speed, but they're a nice length. The Grimdark Compendium ones can sometimes run a little long, sort of 20-25 minutes. Again, you might want to put those on 1.5 speed. But with Matt, he's so chilled, and with that jazz music in the background, I sometimes have to put it on a little bit faster. Matt, it just means I can consume more of your content. It's all good. Deals a lot with contrast, layers it up, sticks mainly to Citadel, but I've liked what I've had so far. And one video he did that I really liked was this one. Let's have a quick look.
Add variety of the skin, avoiding the recesses.
So he did this video about how to paint all these different skin tones with just one contrast paint, dark oak flesh, which I thought was really impressive. Like, I really liked what he manages to do here. Again, as you can see, he did that sort of chill, jazz, very...
For a bronze olive skin tone, I mixed about 3 parts dark oak flesh.
I'll put it on 1.5, just so you can see the difference.
This layer just like any other contrast paint. Apply plenty of paint and use the brush to soak up any excess.
Still follow it, but just get you through a little bit quicker. Very, very chilled, Bob Ross-like delivery.
And all over with a layer of syrup and sepia.
That's Matt's Hobby Hour. Right, the next two are, I want to say more famous, but probably more well-known channels that I have been following for a long time. Let's have a look. So the first one, Tavarian Miniatures, been doing stuff for ages, tends to have a sponsorship with one of the hobby companies at a time, I would say. Really cool stuff, good delivery, knows what he's doing, isn't afraid of showing off his mistakes as well. Loads of videos, 256 videos, 203 subscribers. That's the kind of level where, you know, you're making good money, you can do it as your full-time job, and you get a, how can I put it, sort of attention from various companies. You can do collaborations and things like that, which is what a lot of Travarian does. Travarian? I'm not sure. But let's look at some of his video real quick. I'm pretty sure you all know. Let's go to... let's look at his wet blending. I've seen this video before.
Then I just reapply fresh paint there and do all of the steps again. I quickly clean the brush at this point, because having one of the colors in the brush while you are mixing them, it can quickly be too much compared to how much of the other color is there, and the gradient will skew towards that color. So you want to make sure that you mix roughly the same amount of color for a perfect gradient. Also, don't be afraid to reapply one color when your ratio is off. This is not an exact science, and it also depends if you're mixing a bright color and a dark one, or two equally bright colors, and it's also going to take a bit of practice to find out which brush movement is the best to mix these two colors together. You can see that I add back some of the bright color in the center of the chest, and then I drag it into the layers of the dark.
Again, very concise, telling you exactly what he's doing at all times. Good delivery, loads of stuff going on there. Really knows his game. I think he's ex-Golden Demon winner and stuff like that, as I believe Matt's Hobby Hour was. In fact, most of the guys who start off these painting channels, painting focus channels, are probably ex-Golden Demon winners. But I've always liked Travarian's stuff. He always does great content, well worth checking out. You'll probably get a sponsorship at some point in the video. So that is Travarian Miniatures, and we got one guy left. Yeah, I mean, what can I say? You gotta all hail the beard that is Zumikito Miniatures. Again, probably everybody knows this guy. He's got roughly the same amount of subs, nearly 250,000. Great stuff. One of those kind of Eastern European painters that's so bloody good. How many videos has he got? 129. Slacking. I thought he had more than that. Some great stuff. And one thing I really like, he shows his cock-ups quite a lot, actually. But he also has some great humour in his videos. Probably not designed so much for little kiddies. But yeah, I've always really enjoyed his... how the fuck am I not? It must have dropped the sub. It must have dropped the sub. I am definitely subscribed to Zumikito. All hail the fucking beard. By the way, I've noticed we've lost a couple of subs recently. So if you are watching the video, check who are still subscribed to Grumpy Grognard Gaming. Because, putting it frankly, YouTube is doing some bullshit. Anyway, let's have a look.
Video, it'll all make sense. So today, I'm gonna show you how to avoid painting weird faces, how to paint an appealing face, and some tricks that make them truly stand out. But first, what exactly is wrong with having too much contrast on the face? Unfortunately, this is the same problem that people encounter when painting skin tones. When we talk about contrast, we usually mean a big difference between lights and shadows. However, unless you are an old, saggy husk of a man, we associate skin with being quite smooth. Looking at some of the faces from Games Workshop, you encounter exactly this problem. Some of them are very defined, which makes them seem way too old and masculine.
Again, put some stuff in
this is not a problem
chapters.
when painting a Space Marine that's hundreds of years old, but I would say some minis deserve a softer finish. But how do you do that? The way I typically start painting anything...
So yeah, I don't want to just rip off his content. Bazimikiko is one that I've always really liked. I am subscribed. Don't lie. And yeah, been watching his stuff for absolutely ages. Definitely check his out. I Ruined My Space Marine Army. He tries using like a oil wash. It goes horribly, horribly wrong. Definitely lessons to be learned there. There are countless painting channels on YouTube. I've purposely not counted any XGW staff members. Louise has done good content, though she doesn't tend to focus on hobby painting, more hobby overall. But obviously you've got Duncan Rhodes Academy, which I arranged a collaboration with when I worked at War Cradle. You've got people like Vince Venturella, who's done more videos than I've had at Hot Dinners. So much content there with his hobby cheating videos. You've got the likes of Miniac. There's, what was his name? Goobertown Hobbies, I think it was. Some of these I've not seen content from quite a while. I presume that Miniac's still going. You've even got Eons of Battle with Jay, although again he tends to do his content a little bit more esoteric and diverse than just painting. God, those eyes are creeping me out. But I just thought I'd bring you 5 that you could just watch. And yeah, they're all on there. They're all free. You don't need Warhammer Plus. You can level up your painting just by watching any of these. I'm so tempted to grab that for a future Cheb's screenshot. Anyway, thanks for watching, Grognards. If you've got any ideas on painting channels or sources and stuff like that people can access for free, then hell, just let us know, because there's no way that I could possibly cover everything. So I've just picked these 5 for now. Thank you very much to all of the painting channels that I featured. Hope you don't mind me playing a little bit of your content. And yeah, till next video, stay grognard, guys. Bye.